Hello, my name is Dr. Jonathan Howard, and welcome to another installment of Things Doctor Said. Today, we're going to be listening to an interview from October 5th, 2020, with the three authors of the Great Barrington Declaration. We are primarily going to hear Dr. Sunitra Gupta speak. So keep in mind, this was about 2 months before vaccines arrived, but 3 months before the worst wave of the pandemic arrived, and 3,000 Americans would die daily. And there's a lot of revisionist history around the Great Barrington Declaration. A lot of people, including a couple of its authors, deny that it was about herd immunity via natural immunity in 3 to 6 months. But all of the people who defend the Great Barrington Declaration today censor it. They are afraid to show you the clips that I will show you. They deny that it was a herd immunity via mass infection strategy and claim that it was just about poor children in schools and small businesses and the working class. But let's listen to what they actually had to say. And I'll start off just by showing a little clip from what the interviewer wants you to get out of this.
And build up what we call and will continue to call herd immunity.
This is the saner approach, the more moral approach, the more scientifically based approach.
There we go. Herd immunity. That's what it was all about. And let's take a listen to how they planned to build up herd immunity. And it was by naturally acquired infection. Don't take my word for it. Just listen to the video that the defenders of the Great Barrington Declaration want to censor.
Kind of regime immediately, no matter what we hear about a vaccine?
Yes, I would agree that we should move towards this regime. Obviously, I hope fervently that we do have a vaccine by spring with which to offer further protection to the vulnerable sectors. But in any event, that we will be relying on a combination of vaccination and naturally acquired immunity to provide the level of protection we really want. The two other points I wanted to make was that this business of protecting the vulnerables in some ways is just a subset of total lockdown. And we've certainly endured total lockdown and implemented it. And, some people would certainly say it was successful. So I think that one could view it in that sense as just a subset of what we've already done. And also just to remember that it would be a temporary measure. So I think a lot of the criticism is kind of predicated on it being a kind of permanent state of affairs. And of course, that's not what we're advocating. We're saying, let's just do this for the 3 months that it takes for the pathogen to sweep through the population, create enough herd immunity.
So you think it would be that short a period needed before we could reach herd immunity? I mean, people who advocate on the other side of this will say that we don't know how long immunity lasts for. We don't know if herd immunity would be achievable in that kind of time frame.
Well, I think almost it's a sort of fundamental feature of a pathogen that has the kind of infectious period that this SARS-CoV-2 has, and the R0 that it has, that it should rise, peak, and drop off within that period. I think almost all mathematical modelers would agree to that. And indeed, that is what we've observed in many countries where it has kind of ripped through. So, I mean, I would be confident in saying that if we adopted this strategy, then maybe we could all have a very nice, normal Christmas.
Dr. Bhattacharya.
All right, so there we go. So my challenge is for anyone who claims the Great Barrington Declaration has been vindicated to show that clip, be honest about what the Great Barrington Declaration actually proposed, which was herd immunity via the mass infection of unvaccinated youth in 3 to 6 months. And if you claim the Great Barrington Declaration has been vindicated, be honest about what it actually said. No one else has done that yet. You have the opportunity to do something unique. Thanks for listening.